Good morning. Today is the 27th of July and this is part 5 of a slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2024 festival of the Unexceptional. And yes, I have actually filmed this car on my channel before. This is a 1989 Nissan Sunny Estate, and yes, it's actually called Estate on the back of the car. It's the B12 model. These are exceptionally rare cars. Nissan for some reason thought that it was perfectly acceptable to market two Sunny Estates at the same time, and neither of them were the same model as the N13, which is the model that I've got. This exact car, I drove it in 2021, it was under previous ownership. A gentleman by the name of Stuart used to own this. It's now in the care of the chap who runs the Old Cars New Van channel. But I gather it's for sale, so Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says please call 07984148718. Having driven this car in 2021, I can tell you that it is in actually very, very nice condition. Originally registered down in Poole. Stuart had it for a while, but they are, you just don't really see these at all. As you can see, it is called an estate, actually even on the back of the car. Next we've got late sort of E36 here. The coupes are made, I think, until 1998 or something like that, or 99. Edinburgh to Rome. Yes, a lot of BMWs here, as you expect. Spitfire 1500 Mark 5, I think they are. 1976, 1977 on an R. Then we've got a Talbot Horizon GLS 5-speed 1.5 engine. I think these still have a Sim Caprese engine in them actually. Yeah, 1983 this one. Did you see which drivers? I forget now. Another Saab 900 here. Also quite a low spec one. This one's for sale too. Call 07970276925. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. Get a 900i. From Cambridge, not too far from here. Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. I mean, that's quite nice. Very, very nice, luxurious interior. Do you like that kind of thing, viewers? I think it's a Shadow 1. Yeah, Shadow 1. Shadow 2s have a very different front end from these. Another Renault 4. La Quatrelle, as the French call these. 1986. This one, again, also been at the concourse section at some point in the past. It's a GTL. They made these since, I think, 1990. Was it 1994 in some markets, these were? P38 Range Rover here, 4.6 HSE, 1994, 1995. We do prefer the V8 models, viewers, for obvious reasons you would have seen at the beginning of the video. Thank you, Mayor of London and all your friends around the country with your stupid ultra low emission and clean air zones that are nothing more than ways of making money. Another E36 here, this time a convertible. Yeah, so what model that is? More focuses. I hope this one is a petrol one. Here's all I can say. Probably is. Yeah, it's a 1.4 CL. Wow. I know it's a 1.4 CL. It is. Wow. Yeah, CLs are rare. By contrast, you've got something a lot more fancy. This is a Focus Millennium Edition. There we go. Only 1,000 of these were made. Forgot it was as limited as that. I thought it was a few more, but yeah, they're all made in this colour for some reason. And then we've got a very nice Focus Gear Saloon 2001, owned by my friend David, who has recently bought this. And at some point we shall be filming this, not today because there is not enough time, but we shall be having a go in that at some point. Very, very nice. Interesting, it's registered in September 2001, but it's built in 2000. Ford Fiesta Meridian Edition. Porter Southampton plate, yes. Meridian television. was, and still is actually technically, the franchise holder for the southern region, south and southeast of ITV, and that is Meridian logo. Meridian actually came into existence in 1993, so this will be, I think, a 93, and it was only offered, I think, through the Southern Ford dealers. There we go. Yeah, I remember the old Meridian logo. Got very nostalgic now about them. Wonder what dealership registered this car originally. Darren Motors in Hailing Island. There we go. That makes sense. And then a Proton 1.3 MPI GE. They weren't called the Saga in this country. People keep referring to them as Sagas. They were not called that over here. They were called that in Malaysia and other places until 2008, I think they made them, but they stopped importing them in this country in 1996. The ones with the fuel injection were called the MPIs, but the basic models is called a 1.3 and 1.5. I'll just skip back Xantia viewers and move on to this Rover 200. It's actually a 3-door. It's a rare thing, and it's Germany. Imagine this is like a 216 or something like that. No, 214i. It's right at the bottom. It looks quite fancy though. I know the content specifications were quite different from ours. It's got leather seats, got part leather seats. Xantia, can't talk about that. Volvo 343DL. 1986, obviously previously in the concourse section. The DL was the lowest model in the 340 and 360 range. This one's not got a rev counter, it's got a 4-speed gearbox, 1.4 I think Renault Cléon Font engine in these. The high specification 340s and the 360s had sort of more powerful engines. Then a Cavalier SRI and an Astra SRI, 2 SRIs. This one's sort of personal plate on it, but I think actually that matches up quite nicely with the year. Sort of about 89 to 90. I think these were 2 litres, the SRIs. Then, yeah, not a GTE. The GTEs didn't come in with 5 doors. This is a 5-door. I think these were 1.8. I'd like to see. Let's say these Mark II Astra facelifts of the SRI. Can't talk about the Audi A2. Let's move on to this Mercedes. 1985, I think this will be one of the very last W123s. Very nice. I wonder if Mr. Miller from Miller Corners around here. He's into these. 230E. Another Volvo 940, because why not? Yeah, we've got the 4-speed with overdrive gearbox in this one, which something they did. I can't remember why they did that as opposed to 5-speed Northern, but they did. 92, 93 on a K. That Citroen we're going to have to skip, and Persia we're going to have to skip. We're going to go on to the Volvo 480. 1980, 1990 Volvo 480 ES. I have driven one of these, obviously being the owner of the 460 for a while. I also got to drive a 440 at the time, and I also drove a 480, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Can't talk about that, so we're going to go on to the Triumph Toledo. 1972-73 Toledo, 4-door. There's actually one of these as well at the concourse section. Got 2 at the show that are very, very similar, but they are actually different. Strange, isn't it? 1999 Fiat Coupe. This is a 20-valve coupe, not the turbo, just the 20-valve. Owned by Mr. Bushby, who has a very large collection of Fiats and other cars, and I've driven lots of them. Not driven this one yet. Hopefully if I ask him nicely he'll let me have a go in that, which would be nice. Then a Fiesta Mark IV LX, 1995 this would be, possibly a 96, early Mark IV. I don't know what engine's in that. I hope it's like a 1.25 Z-Tech SE, but could be wrong. And then K11 Micra, early one actually, with the steel trims. It's like a Micra Shape or something like that. No, an L, okay, it's an L. The Shape's a bit later perhaps. 1993, 1994. And then a Renault 9 GTL. Yes, please, viewers. This is the sort of thing we absolutely love. This is the final facelift for Renault 9. When they were introduced back in 182, I think we're one of the very first cars to ever have steering wheel controls, or very steering column control, not on the wheel, they're sort of near wheel. I'll look if I can see these remote controls for stereo on here. I didn't have them. I thought this was the one that had them. That's annoying. Oh well, never mind. Can't do everything, can we? So in between a couple of sections here, come across this very, very nice Jaguar S-Type, representing the Starter Motors charity. And it's very appropriate because we've got a beige leather interior with wood. This will be a V6, won't it? Yes, it is. Very nice, viewers. Even more interesting is this Mitsubishi Colt, the C10 series Colt, like the one I had on No Budget Reviews quite recently. That was a 5-door. This is a 3-door, which is the GL model, windy windows. And if you're saying yes, it looks like a Proton, it does, because the Proton was based on this generation of Mitsubishi Colt. They feel very similar to drive, unsurprisingly. Toyota GT86 and then a Ferrari Mondial, 1982-83. Wow, sort of one of the more affordable Ferraris of history. That is actually well, nice. It's the Quattro Valvolvo. Imagine this is an MG midget. Obviously, you know, the Yosemite Sprite was at the time was exactly the same as well, and that's down, so I couldn't tell you. It could be a Sprite. And then I've got an MGF here, late MGF, like the one that I've borrowed recently. There will be actually a No Budget Reads episode on that at some point. But yes, when I was at the BMW Lane show, that's what I went in, because it was more appropriate than being a Volvo, which is good. Yes, viewers, the other Nissan Cherry Europes on the road. There are just two. There are literally two Cherry Europes on the road in this country. Otherwise known as the Alfa Romeo. There's one of those on the road in this country. This one I didn't film. Ian Seabrook from Hard Nut Channel and Mr. Richard and Furious Driving both had these on there. We have this exact car on the channel because there's only two in the country. So if you want to film one, it's either this one or the one I filmed, which was the 1.2. This is the 1.5 GTI, despite not having fuel injection. Very, 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 very rare car and exceptionally unexceptional. Next we've got this Nissan Datsun Sunny. This is a B11 Sunny 1.5 GL. It's the kind of thing that I very much like, viewers. We'd like to do one of these on the channel at some point, hopefully through the Datsun UK Owners Club, catering from Nissan to Datsuns up to 1995. I'll eventually be offered one, but that is very nice. In 1983, that is exceptionally unexceptional. And then we'll move on to Mr. John Copeland's Proton Black Knight. 1.5 GL Black Knight was like a special edition for these, and he's even got the correct wheel trims on it. I think this is the last one of this type of Proton actually existing in this country, which is amazing. Then I think Sam Allen, he won in this Vauxhall Astra 1.4 Merit, absolute and utter base specification. I think this is a 1994. Yes, it is. I'll just pause a second, viewers, whilst we look at the other things that are here. Then we've got this 1978 MGB, which you can win, courtesy of Haggard Drivers Club. My bumper MGBs have a special place in my heart. We need to go and look at a Proton over there. We'll just cut that bit up and be walking. 1992-1993 Proton. So many Protons here today, viewers. Not that I'm complaining, of course. This one is a 1.5 SE Saloon. 1.5 MPI SE Saloon, I think is the way you say it. Of course, with the body kit and the wheel trims and things. And yes, very similar dashboard to that Mitsubishi Colt we saw just a little bit earlier. One thing I've just noticed on this, actually, apart from the fact that it's all correct, is the fact it's got the headlamp protectors on it, which is a sign of care, isn't it? So, Look at this. First generation Volvo S40. 2 litre model. 1998-1999. 2 litre automatic. Pre-facelift. Don't know what specification that is. Unfortunately, they stopped putting the badges on the back of those at some point. Facelifted Astra G. Probably 1.6 LS. Astra Gs are disappearing quite quickly now, viewers, which is a shame. They once were very common. But we've got this Honda Accord Coupe. Still stuff coming in here, crazy. I'll look at the V6. This is a 1995-1996 registration. Smart FOTU Pure, 2003. Facelift of Mercedes-Benz SLK. Let's get around the back of this quickly before I trip open the door on me. No badge, interesting. TVR Griffith. Sorry, through a Cerberus, sorry, not Cerberus. Cerberus 4.5 with the funny door mirrors that also the handles. Can't remember what year that is now. Triumph Herald van or Triumph Courier, what's it called? I can't remember now. Probably registered originally by Triumph themselves. This is a rarity, isn't it? Yeah, it's a Courier. I can't remember, I remembered that, yes, but there we go, I did. I surprise even myself sometimes. Another Mark IV Escort. It's like a bonus 90 or something. It can't be a bonus 90 because it's not a 1990 car, but something like that. I don't know. Probably 1.3, 89. 1999 to 2000 Peugeot 406 Coupe. I do hope this is a petrol one, viewers. Don't know if it's a. This is an automatic. I don't know if it's a V6 or not. Actually, I'm not sure. That's before the D9s came in. Escort Harrier Mark 5A, I think they call these. Can't remember what engine is in these. You've still got a basic speedo and a rev counter. Not that luxurious though. That's a 92. Right, skip that 309 views and move on to this base model Mark III Polo. Yeah, ignore the wheels views. It is a base model, 1 litre L. I think these had 50 horsepower. It's a similar engine to the one that's in the Rossa that I drove on no budget reviews last year, because that's basically a shortened Polo anyway. Alfa Romeo 147. What year is this one? It is a 2005. I thought by then they were facelifted, but obviously not. Yeah, just sort of squeezing in at the sort of newer end of what comes in here. I'm not sure actually if I would have been able to come in here in my Volvo, because that's 1 year newer than this. I'm sure I would have been turned away, but obviously that's it's interesting. It's not even quite about the year, it's about some of the undefined quality. Mercedes-Benz 450 SLC 1977-78 on an S, which is good. Then we have this Ford Fiesta Mark III, early Mark III actually. Is this a Fiesta S? I think this came with a 1.4 engine, but it looked a bit like an XR2i, but it wasn't. Oh no, sorry, 1.6, I do apologise. 1.6 that, hasn't it? Volkswagen Caddy. I wonder if this has got a petrol engine in it, viewers. We will check. It's still got a clock. I've no idea, it probably doesn't then, and we will have to just move on. Another E36 BMW, seen them everywhere. Never actually driven an E36 though. I've driven E46, I've driven E30, but not one of these. This is a 318 IS, 1994, 1995. We've passed the BX and onto the Porsche 924 Turbo, 1980, something like that, probably. Interesting. It's got a sort of biscuit leather interior. That's good, viewers. Like that. And then we've got one of these, I think, E110 Corollas, 2001. I drove one of it on No Budget Reviews, and I think it's 2022, and it was very, very popular, that video. It's still popular now. It's actually a really nice car to drive. It's a car that wasn't particularly interesting at the time, but now people are really into these. And I understand why. This is the, I think, 1.6 GS. Apparently you complete with me, this player. Right, next section. Maestro, I think, would be 1.3. Yes, not Austin. Austin badges were not applied to the cars after 1987, so not Rover either, just Maestro. 93, 94. Also 93, 94 is this Corsa B Merit. Yeah, I can't talk about the Jeep. Corsa B Merit from Arlington of Portsmouth, original plates. RV was local plate to the area where I grew up. Very large area actually, going sort of all the way over from Chichester all the way to almost Bournemouth. Large area. Then Volkswagen Scirocco GTS Mark II, 1986-87. Having driven a Corrado recently, I also would like to try a Scirocco. I think that'd be interesting. Very, very late Mark I Volvo C70 convertible, 2004 to 5, with the final year front end. 2004 that facelift came in. Interior is very similar though in most of them, which is similar to the S70 and so the V70 Mark I. That is a manual, probably the 2 turbo at that stage of the T5. That's the one most ones are being sold towards the end. 96, 97 Twingo, another Mark I Twingo. They are breeding today, like little frogs. The frogs breeding. 1999 Hyundai Accent Coupe. I can't believe there are 2 Mark I Hyundai Accent Coupes here today, but that's what's happened. Again, the SI model, like one with faded paint. And a Renault 4L GTL Clan. Yes, famous car with the wheelbase being longer on one side than the other. I sort of fancy driving a 4L at some point. Yeah, could be fun. Then we have a Supersank. A Supersank 5. Yes, I didn't say that wrong. This is a Supersank 5. Supersank is the French name for these, but this is the 5 edition, which is strange. Here you go, that's what they were like. 89 to 90 on the G. It's even imported at some point from somewhere. And then a Maxi. I'm surprised we've not seen more of these Maxis actually. This is a 79 1750 HL. 79 was actually the last year for 1500, so yeah, apparently it needs TLC. Call 07527842868. Yes, as Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel says, this could be yours. I hope we'll see more of these actually, dears. And again, another car that I filmed on the channel myself. This is the 1986 Hyundai Stella 1.6. I think it's called GSL. This was a top of the range car at the time. It was only about, I think, 1987 or 88 that actually they introduced the 2 litre, which are far better than this, and they've got power steering. This car is very, very heavy to drive without the power steering. I know because I tried it myself last year. There are something like 12 Hyundai Stellas in this country, and I'm very privileged to have driven this one. Owned by a friend of mine called Alex, who has a very interesting selection of cars. 1998, 1999 E110 Corolla pre-facelift. This is the G6 model, which was a 6-speed one. These as close as it got really to a sporty version of the E110 Corolla. Again, they are quite nice to drive. These they're generally quite nice actually. It's a shame people don't realise that over time. Porsche Boxster from 2000, very very typical of this particular sort of era of the sports cars, all sort of yellow, and of course the 968 Club Sport came along. This is 986 Club Sport, maybe all stripped out and lightened. Another E30 BMW here, pre-facelift one. Pre-facelift are much rarer than the post-facelift ones, it seems. Obviously they made them for a sort of time in the facelift ones anyway. Yeah, 1985-86. I wonder if this is an actual Porsche 912. It could be. I can't remember if they had the Fuchs alloy wheels on them or not. I think they stopped making the original type of the 912. Obviously there was an American specification 912 in the mid-70s to make up for the fuel crisis. Yeah, 67. It does say 912. Okay, they're actually quite valuable, those now. Facelifted Peugeot 106 Independence, XL Independence, I should say. This one is a was it a 96, 97 on a P, probably a petrol one. I hope so. Otherwise, we won't be talking about it, will we? Yeah, there we go. And then next we've got this Volvo 340. Now that's rather nice. I like that. Personally, I prefer the 360s, but this is quite nice in itself. Look at the back of this. It's the GL Special Edition 87-88 on an E. Yeah, that's rather nice. Maidenhead actually was where a lot of Volvos were originally registered back in the day. I think their corporate record is still there. Daimler 66. Double six based on the XJC version of the Series 2 Jaguar XJs. Very, very nice, viewers. We like that a great deal. Yeah, 76, 77. Then 2004 to 5 Vauxhall Astra 1.6 Club, which again, these Astra Gs are starting to get quite rare now, particularly in nice condition because nobody really cared about them at the time. I have to skip that and go on to this Austin A35 van, 1967. Yes, they made them, I think, until 1968. These A35 vans, they were made far, far, far longer than the A35s. So were discontinued in 1959. Then we've got a pre-facelift second generation Saab 93 convertible. This is the 2-litre turbo model, although to be honest most of them came with a 2-litre turbo model, but sometimes they're about as 1.8, sometimes 2-litre T, it just depended. But yeah, 2006 to 7, so one of the newest cars that's here. Two of them my Volvo that's in here, which is interesting. Yeah, can't talk about that Land Rover probably. Ooh. 1980 to 1981. Mercedes-Benz 2-litre 280E, complete with beige leather interior and wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. I think I might have said that before. Yeah, very nice. Next, we've got this Mercedes 190E, 1990 to 1991 on an H, which is good, I suppose. Yeah, it's a 2-litre, similar to the one that's in the concourse section, which is owned by Simon, not 26 cars. Another Lada here. This is a Lada Niva. I wonder if this is like what's been personally imported or something. I think for a while, quite recently, you could get one of these on a sort of personal import. It certainly looks like it, but I wouldn't know. We've got a rather lovely Volvo 480 here. Would this happen to be like a Swiss one or something? Yes, it is. It's an 840S. I can't remember that specification now. I think they probably sold them, but I've just not seen one. Right, Audi A2 we'll have to skip. So on to this Polish specification, Alfa Romeo 147. That's the second one we've seen in this part. That's exciting, isn't it? Didn't realise that actually they are quite the modern classic now. Another one of these W123s, which definitely are classics, have been for some time. Obviously Mr. Miller, who works for Classics World, does have one, so there we go. And it's for 200, that one. Oh, first generation Civic with a Honda-matic gearbox. Fantastic, look at that. 1976 to 1977 on an R. Honda-matic was kind of like a weird kind of 2-speed auto. I don't quite know how to describe it other than that. And it's for sale. 2750. Call Bob on 07917 201 726. Fantastic. Very hard car to price. Pre-facelift Citroen Xantia 1.8. Yes. So an early Xantia, still got the hydroactive suspension in it. 1.8 LX, 93-94. Jaguar XJS, still got the high floor on it, so we're not before the sort of changes that occurred in 1991. Ooh, very nice. A beige leather interior with wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. That's probably the 4 litre, and I would like to have one of those myself very, very much. Anyway, that's quite enough for now. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again in part 6 for some more incorrect information.